Simple. Some of the religious legalists came to Jesus and they were trying to corner him, to be honest with you, and they asked him the question, who is my neighbor? And Jesus gave him the story of the Good Samaritan, which is all about perspectives that I want to teach today. So let's get to the screen and let's go to the scripture. In reply, Jesus said a man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho when he was attacked by robbers. They stripped him of his clothes, beat him, and went away, leaving him half dead. A priest happened to be going down the same road, and when he saw the man, he passed by on the other side. So too, a Levite, when he came to the place and saw him, passed by on the other side. But a Samaritan, as he traveled, came where the man was, and when he saw him, he took pity on him. He went to him and bandaged his wounds, pouring on oil and wine. Then he put the man on his own donkey, brought him to an inn, and took care of him. The next day he took 2 denarii and gave them to the innkeeper. Look after him, he said, and when I've returned, I will reimburse you for any extra expenses that you may have. Which of these 3 do you think was a neighbor to the man who fell into the hands of robbers? The expert in law replied, the one who had mercy on him, and Jesus told him, go and do likewise. In this story, there are 3 different perspectives about possessions, and I want to give them to you now. First of all is the perspective from the robber's standpoint, because a man was robbed in the story. And the perspective concerning possessions for people that are robbers is that what is yours is mine, and I'm going to take it. That's exactly what they did. They saw the man, they saw he had possessions, what's yours is mine, hit him, knocked him around, took his possession, what's yours is mine, I'm going to take it. Now, I'm not going to spend much time on that because there's a high, well, the odds are quite high that there are very few real robbers here today. So you're probably feeling really good about this perspective because most of us really don't think what's yours is mine and I'm going to take it. But I will say this, we're all born kind of like robbers because there's a very similar thought, perspective from toddlers' perspective. Little toddlers, their perspective of possessions is something like this. If I like it, it's mine. If I can take it away from you, it's mine. If I had it a while ago, it's mine. If I say it's mine, it's mine. If it looks like mine, it's mine. If you're having fun with it, it's mine. If I lay down your toy, it's mine. If it's broken, it's yours. Huh? Toddlers and robbers, pretty close, huh? And you know why that is? It's because we're all born into sin. We're all born with a great amount of selfishness within us. And so there's a lot of people that just basically, they never really go stick somebody up in that whole process, but really basically they're looking around and they're basically saying, well, truthfully, my perspective about possession is what's yours is mine and I'm going to take it. Okay, we're going to leave that one. Let's get to more where we live, okay? That first one wasn't for you, it was for that person on your left, okay? The second perspective about possession is what is mine, and I'm going to keep it. Now, this is very relevant and sometimes to almost every person in this room. Because every one of us have that sense that the possessions that we have are really ours. And so what is mine, and I'm going to keep it. And that perspective is birthed out of 2 things. It's birthed out of selfishness, and it's birthed out of a lack of awareness about really how possessions work. I had a friend, this is good. I had a friend who was talking to me recently, and he took his son to McDonald's, and his son loves McDonald's fries, so they went up, and so Dad got his son a big pack of good McDonald's fries, and we all know how good those are. So they sat down, and his boys across the table from me got the big pack of fries, and got the ketchup, and taking the fries, and dipping them, boy, just enjoying his. And Dad's looking over, and Dad says, oh, those things look really good. I think I'll have one. And so he reached over to get one of the fries, and when he got right to where the fry was, his son grabbed his hand, and he pushed it away. He said, no, Dad, you can't have those. Those are my fries. So the dad said, I looked at my son and I thought three things. Number one is he doesn't understand where those fries come from. He doesn't understand I'm the source of those fries. I'm the one that went up and ordered the fries. I'm the one that reached in and I paid for it. He doesn't understand where those fries come from. He said, the second thing I thought, and I could tell as he was telling me this story, his anger was rising. He said, the second thing I thought was, he doesn't understand. I can take those fries from him. I can look at him and say, if that's going to be your attitude about fries, here, I want to take those fries. Or he doesn't understand. If I wanted to, I could bury him in fries. So I just thought about going, give me 100 fries. Just, bring the wheel. Just bury him. Just bury him. I can bury him in fries. I can take his fries from him. He said the third thing he doesn't understand is, I don't need his fries. I can get my own fries. I'm the source of the fries. I don't need his fries. He said, what bothered me as a father was this. I didn't need his fries. I could go get my own. But I wanted to share them with my son. It was the attitude of selfishness and a lack of awareness. And he's telling me this story as a father. Man, I'm writing it down. I'm saying, this will go in a book. This will go in a sermon. Who else can take a French fry story and make it out of a sermon like I can? Huh? Here we go. But I thought to myself, that it's so true that sometimes we look at our possessions and we honestly think that they're ours. And because they're ours, I'm going to keep it. And there are two just what I call incompatible words in the English language. And one is selfishness, which we are all rooted in. All of us, I am, you are. Hello. Every once in a while I run into somebody and they say, well, I'm not selfish. And I say, what other thing are you unaware of in life? What is there another piece of counseling we could deal with you on the same time? Of course we're all selfish. It's our nature. It's who we naturally are. What's mine is mine, and I'm going and keep it. If you don't think you're selfish, just let me ask a question. The next time you're in a group picture, when you see that picture, who is the first person? Who's the first person you look for? Come on now. You look at yourself. You know how you judge a group picture? How good you look. There's nothing group about it. There's nothing, you look at it, if you look good, you say, great picture. Send it to me. And if you don't look good, okay, do it again. Come on. One more time. You judge, everything is judged around you. With one trifling exception, the world is composed of others. That was a good thought. You just have to think about it for a while. Write it down, and 2 days from now, it'll dawn on you. You see, selfishness and significance. Selfishness is what I've done for myself. Significance is what I do for others. They're just incompatible. And let me just say this because it's so true. Selfish people cheat themselves. The very thing that they're trying not to do, and that is to keep everything for themselves, is what they don't understand, is they cheat themselves. Proverbs 11:24, it's on your screen. A generous person will prosper. Whoever refreshes others will be refreshed. So if I ask all of you, how many of you just like to be refreshed? Well, every hand goes up. Well, how do you do that? Well, be generous to others. You see, it's amazing that every day we wake up and most people, they think, what am I going to reap today? What am I going to receive today? What's in it for me? What am I going to get today? Everybody, they just kind of, okay, I hope something happens good at work today. My gosh. And it's all about what am I going to reap? What am I going to receive today? And there's a whole law of nature that we're missing, and the law of nature is, I don't want to be overcomplicated here. You got to sow something to reap something. If a farmer didn't sow any seed in the spring and he went out in the fall and says, man, I'm hoping to reap a harvest, you'd say, you're about the dumbest farmer I know. What a dumb farmer. You got to sow something. Isn't it amazing? We're all committed to what am I going to get? What am I going to keep? What's going to be mine? And we're not committed to the, you see, the problem in this world is not the haves and have-nots. Even though there's a culture that would like to kind of make that the issue, it's not the haves and have-nots, folks. It's the give-nots. It's the give-nots that's the problem. No matter how much or how little you have, has nothing to do with having a generous spirit about possession. So, the first attitude, what's yours is mine, I'm going to take it. Well, come on, that's terrible. We know better than that. But this second one now, this can creep into our life. What's mine is mine, and I'm going to keep it. So let's go to the third attitude, and that is what's mine is yours, and I'm going to give it. And that's the picture of the Good Samaritan that Jesus gives for us in this story. He basically says the Good Samaritan saw the robber, saw his pathetic condition, had pity on him, went over, basically said, what's mine is yours, and I'm going to give it, and I'm going to take time, I'm going to give you my time, I'm going to give you my effort, I'm going to give you my energy. And it is interesting, the priest, the Levite, and the Good Samaritan in this story, they had many similarities in the story. They all saw the problem. Isn't it interesting? Jesus wanted to make sure that every one of us knew they saw the robber. It wasn't like they missed him. They were walking by and looking over to the left when he was over. No. He said they all saw the man. He wants to make sure that everybody understands they all saw the robber, so they all saw the problem, and they all had an opportunity to help. They all could have done what the Good Samaritan did. I mean, he was right there. They could have reached over. They could have helped him. And they all had a reason not to help. And see, the reason not to help, the reason not to give, the reason not to serve, that's what gets us if we have a kind of a selfish mindset. You see, the worst excuse is a good excuse. The bad excuses don't mess us up much. But man, when it's the good excuses, we buy into that. So we have a tendency just to, and by the way, the priest and the Levite, I'm sure they had good excuses. Here's the difference. The priest and the Levite, they had an inside perspective. It was all about them. It was all about, what is this going to do to me? This is huge. This is huge. The Good Samaritan, he had an outside perspective. He not only saw the robber, but he saw the potential of helping somebody. And when you have an inside perspective like the priest and the Levite, in other words, it's all about you, there's a reason they didn't stop. And I'm going to tell you why they didn't stop. It's very simple. They looked at the robber, they saw he was in bad condition, and they selfishly said, if I stop, it will inconvenience me. Oh my gosh. This is going to be a real inconvenience if I stop. I had an appointment. I'm going to miss the appointment. And besides, he's a mess. Look, he's bloody and there's nothing convenient about stopping and helping the guy that's robbed. And so the questions that the priest Levi had, that inside selfishness, well, this will inconvenience me. But the Samaritan, when he looked at him, I believe that I went through a process, and I believe that he basically said three things to himself. First of all, I think he said to himself, if I don't stop, what will happen to him? Well, I'll tell you what will happen to him. He's already half dead. He'll die. And I just want to say to you, without being overly dramatic, if you don't have a generous heart towards people and giving and serving and loving and living, if you have a tendency to be tight and close, let me just say something to you. There's a whole bunch of people that you could help that you don't help, and because of that, they're not going to get the help that they need. That's just a fact. So if I don't stop, what's going to happen to him? But let me just say something else. He asked another question, and another question. I love this question. He said, if I don't stop, now listen to this. This is huge. What will happen to me? In other words, what happens if I ignore this person? What happens if I pass by like the other two on the other side and just keep on going? Because you see, the Good Samaritan realized that what would happen to him is that he would begin to have an indifferent heart. That he'd have an indifferent heart towards people. That his soul would begin to slowly be calloused. And there would be a day that he wouldn't care. And there would be a day that he wouldn't share. And there would be a day that those things wouldn't in any way affect him in any kind of an emotional way. And then he's asking, but if I do stop, and I love this, if I do stop, what will happen to me? And what will happen to me is that I will make a difference. You see, let me just say this. You gotta stop and meet the need to make a difference. And the question is very simple. Do you want to make a difference in the lives of people? If you want to make a difference in the lives of people, you begin to understand that what is mine is yours, and I'm going to give it. Albert Einstein said it so well. It's an incredible quote. He said, a person who starts to live when he can live outside. A person first starts to live when he can live outside of himself. In other words, until I live outside of myself, I don't really live. So let's review. What's yours is mine, I'm going to take it. What's mine is mine, I'm going to keep it. What's mine is yours, I'm going to give it. But there's another level that's even higher than these three. And you got to get it. This is a biblical principle teaching about possessions that's huge. And it's number 4. This is like for the elite. Are you with me? This means you. The person on your left, they may be 3. But you can live on 4. And number 4 is this: what is mine is not mine, and I'm going to manage it. Oh my goodness. What a perspective about possessions. What is mine is not mine, and I'm going to manage it. You see, this is an important point, so I have to stand up and talk. Whenever I stand up, it means visually, don't miss this. Now, before I give you the point, I just wanted to also say that for Thanksgiving, my wife's family came, and so there's a bunch of people around the house, and they're expecting me as soon as the service is over, well, after I sign books. And by the way, I am your friend. My name is John, and you could do your Christmas shopping today. Go get a Bible for somebody. I'll put their name on it, say Merry Christmas, and you won't have to put up with the hassle. That's what friends do for friends. But my wife's family came, and there's 11 of them, and I got to take them out to lunch, and I don't have any money, and I need somebody to bring me $100. I just need $100. Oh, okay. Thank you. Wait. Thank you. That's very nice. Thank you. Yeah. I know what you're thinking. Who was that? What did he do, and why did he do it so quick? He was so quick with that $100, and some of you are already even getting on a guilt trip. Why didn't I bring up $100 for you? That's the question I'm asking right now, too. It's like, I see that one. Are there any others? Are there any others? Are there any others? Now there's a reason that he brought me the $100. His name is Dave. He's a friend of mine. And before the service, I reached in my own pocket and I gave him this $100. And all I asked him to do is, when I asked for $100, would you just give me my $100 back? You see, he was quick to give me the $100 because he knew it wasn't his. And when I watch people get stingy with God, and when I watch people battle and fight and kind of wrestle over the possessions they got and how much little can I get on, I quickly understand. You don't realize something, my friend. It's not yours. Those possessions aren't yours, never have been yours, never going to be yours. You see, it's not hard of letting go of something that's not yours. But if I think it's mine, I'll try to hold it. This is a huge biblical principle about how you and I view our possessions. My wife and I decided several years ago, we went to a financial planner, and we basically said our goal in life is to give all of our money away. And so we're on a give your money away plan. And every year I keep raising up my level of giving and keep giving it away. I've kind of planned it all out, and when I'm done, I'm done. You say, why are you giving it all away? It's very, very simple, folks, because you don't take it with you. I've never seen a U-Haul with stuff in it following a hearse to the graveyard. Now, I'm a father. I've taken care of my children. Are you with me? I've done the right thing there. But what I'm saying is I'm giving it all away. My whole thing is do your giving while you're living so you're knowing where it's going. Now, that doesn't make me wonderful. It just makes me understand I've got the right perspective about possessions. They're not mine. They're not mine. Never have been mine. It's all His. Psalm 24:1, the earth is the Lord and everything in it, the world and all who live in it. Oh my gosh, James 1:17, every good and perfect gift comes from above. Now, let me say something. If you were, and we do this now because of gift giving time, if you took a gift down to overnight delivery to give to somebody, send to somebody that had a need and you had a gift for them, well, if you gave it to the overnight delivery guy and then you found out instead of delivering it to the person in need, he took it home and had it for himself. You stop and say, wait a minute, what are you doing? Well, he said, I felt you wouldn't have given it to me if it wasn't for me. No, it's marked clearly for someone else. You have no right. That's not your package. That's a package that I'm sending to someone. You're just the delivery person for the package. Every possession you have, you're just the delivery person. God gives you these gifts to give to others. Everything He gives you. He wants you to be a river, not a reservoir. God will only give to you what He knows will flow through you. And so, many years ago, I sat down and I no longer ask the question, will I give? Of course I'll give. I'm going to give it all away. That's just the way it works. It's not mine anyway. I'm just a steward of it. I'm just a manager of it. But I began to ask myself 5 questions, and I'm going to give them. When I'm asked to give, I want to just put it through a 5-question